It's me, Aquos. Apparently in the first showcase I recorded, uh, the 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 background music got really loud at one part and basically made you miss like a whole couple of cards. Like I think like at least 3 or 4 cards that I showcased, and you guys couldn't hear me talk, which is really embarrassing, but it's alright. So I'll just go over the full Thunder deck again in this showcase, and also I'll showcase the new cards also for people that want to see new cards, but also for people that didn't get to see the old cards or just didn't see the old video at all. And yeah, and the first card I'll be showing off is Zap Dash. Zap Dash is actually the first card I made for this game. If you didn't know, first card I made for Charge Cards. And he is a 60 HP fighter card with 30 HP, and he's a rank 1. That means you can play him normally. And he's a Thunder type with a plus 20 most against water. This is the stats. And then he has the effect do 10 damage. So his 30 attack is really like 40 attack. But certain situations where you're out of range, you could just get like a nice chip 10, and also it can be really good with other damage effects also, just like give you that extra 10, because I usually do a good job of like balancing effects where like they just don't have enough to kill like a normal card. With this they may have. Like there's a lot of like 50 damage effects in the game. But yeah. And then next up is Zip. Zip is one of my favorite cards in the game. He's just a really good card. He has 40 HP, 20 attack, and a plus 10 bonus against water and wind. And he's a Thunder type and a rank 1. And his effect is Zip Speed. This card may make an extra action. An action is an attack or move. So it allows him to get up in range really quickly and get damage off if you're at least in the mid rail, which you usually are. So he's kind of hard to deal with, and also he's a good counter against arenas, because usually you put arenas in the back row so then your opponent can't destroy them, or usually can't destroy them because they're too far away, and they would have to move up to the top row, put them kinda in a blind spot where literally anything you put on field can attack them, right? But Zip is like, because he has an extra action, he can move up to the mid row on the first turn you play him. The next turn, move to the top row and attack whatever is there in the arena card before you even have time to like react. Because usually you have to move and then wait, and then you would have time to react. But Zip is, wow, my camera is doing that unfocusing thing again. That I was doing last video. Sorry guys. But yeah, that's just really good. It's just, yeah, Zips is a really fun card. Of course, he only has 40 HP, so he's really easy to deal with, because, like, one good blow usually kills him. But, like, it's just enough for him to survive, like, a couple attacks, and then, like, maybe use some healing effects to get him back kind of high, or just use healing effects, period, just to, like, get, like, a plus 10 HP boosts to get him a little bit higher, and then just keep on doing that, and then let him go in for the attacking, let him go aggro. And yeah, he's a really good card. And another thing you could do with him is any attack boosting cards are just way better, because it's basically like a double boost. Basically, it's basically doubling his attack at that point, because he can attack twice anyway. So yeah, any attack boosts on him are just really good. Then next up is Neb. Neb's a normal type. He has 0 attack and 90 HP, rank 1. And he has the ability Nerd's Wisdom, which I think is a funny name. My friend actually came up with this name. And the fact is, look at all your enemy set cards that you can just do, and it's just really nice, because like, it might not seem big, but gives you a lot of information just in case you just need it. And also, he's really tanky, so he's just a nice rank 1 that you know can stay on field for a long time. at least long enough for you to get on field like another rank 1, so you go into a rank 2. So he's just really there just to have like a good card that can survive a long time. So like you do have time to make a rank 2 and just secure your rank 2 basically for you. At least right now. Yeah. So he's okay card. He's not amazing because of course he has 0 attack. But at 90 HP makes him really good and gives him like some utility in the game meta because there's not a lot of cards that have this much HP. That's a rank 1. So yeah, he is kind of really hard to kill. And yeah, this is what makes him really good. Then next up is Mom Dash, which I think is one of the funniest cards. And if you couldn't tell, she's actually Zap Dash's mom. She has 80 HP, 10 attack, and she's a rank 1. And her effect is, she's Thunder type also. And her effect is fresh out of the oven. Give plus 10 HP to a card except this card, so she can't give it to herself. So we can't give her that boost to herself. And a extra plus 20 HP to a dash card. So if you give that 10 HP to a dash card, it'll turn into 30 HP because you get an extra 20 because it's a dash card. And since Zap Dash is the only other dash card in the game that isn't Mom Dash, she always gives plus 30 to him, which is just cool because he's her son, so it just makes sense. Of course, she would make a better meal for her son. It just makes sense. But just like that, plus 10 is just nice anyway. It is not amazing, but it's just nice. And also, like, having the 80 HP, just like I said, just Neb, gives some time to go into another rank 1. But yeah, plus 10 can definitely help you. Definitely can help you, especially in the early game. It can do a lot for you. Then next up is Rookie, which is a normal type. And he's really just a generic card. You could probably slap him in any deck in this game. But he is like a generic card in a good way though. He has 60 HP, 30 attack, and a rank 1. He has the ability Learn. This card gets plus 20 attack for every time you attack this turn. So if you let all your other cards attack, or all your other cards on field attack before him, he'll get a boost for every time they attack that turn. So the more cards you have, the better he gets, and he kind of works as like a pseudo rank 2, where he can dish out almost the same amount of damage rank 2 would do, or even more. Once you have at least 2 cards on field excluding him, he can start doing some big damage. And yeah, he just works as like a pseudo rank 2 if you just can't get it on field, or if you just don't want to play rank 2s, or if it just works well for your strategy. But yeah, he's just a nice card to have because he can definitely build up, but also you kind of have to work for it also. You have to have kind of planned for it also, because he's not just a card you can just play down, because if you play him down to anybody, he's useless. Well, I shouldn't say useless, but he's just kind of just a card now. He doesn't have an effect if he's all by himself. And also it's a funny card thematically because he's learning, so because he's a rookie, so he's learning through his other teammates doing stuff. So I think it's a really cool thematically also. That's another thing I really like about this card. It's really cool thematically. So yeah. Then next up is the rank 2 of the Thunder deck, Turbo Dash. It's a Thunder type, 120 HP and 60 attack. And if you guys didn't know, he's actually a more power-up version of the Zap Dash. When Zap Dash learns his new technique called Elemental Armor, where he uses his element and coats it around his body to give himself a new form, and also making him a lot more durable. Which is a really cool moment in the story, but I won't get too much into it. But yeah. And Turbo Dash, he kind of has similar stats to Zap Dash, because both of them have the base stats of the game for their respective ranks. So Zap Dash, the base stats of the game would be 60 and 30. And the base stats of the game for a rank 2 would be 120 and 60. So if you really look at their stats have just doubled. Where like, you double 30, that's 60, you double 60, that's 120. So they literally have the same stats because they just have the base stats of the game. Which is cool. But also, it's cool like you double their stats, you get the same thing. I don't know if I do that for all the ranks, but I think this is a cool detail for them to tell you that they are the same person. And also he has another really thematic cool thing about him. He has this ability called Sword Mode Change. This card may attack the back row this turn, but it gets a -20 attack for this turn, which allows him to hit the back row from any row, even when he is not in the top row, because usually you can only hit the back row from the top row. But with this effect, you can hit it from any row, which is really cool. And then hit, or you can choose another effect, or give this card +20 attack, but this card can only attack the top row for this turn, which is a drawback. And also, you usually don't always can use this because if your opponent's smart, they will never put anything in the top row. They're going up against Turbo Dash. But it's really cool thematically. Sword Mode Change is a really cool effect thematically because when Zap Dash goes into his Turbo Dash form, he gets this new sword that's made out of elemental power called the Turbo Sword, which can switch modes, like as you can see right now, where it's like in its long range mode, but it can like shrink down back into its short range mode. And long range mode has lower attack but more range, and short range mode has higher attack but less range, which is reflected in its effect. And also, this is a good card for beginners. It is a little bit wordy, but it's generally good because it tests both players on if they know how the game works mechanically, and it just has good brain power logically. They know how to. They have good enough logical power in their mind also. So it tests both players really well. That's why I really like about this card. It's perfect for any beginners, as long as they know how to read, or as long as they understand the effect. It definitely helps them read logically, but also because it looks so wordy, some people just skip it or forget about it, which is okay. But yeah, it is a really good effect and just is good for the game for beginners to learn more. Then next up is Thunder's first special card, Special Blast, which does 30 damage, and that's it. But like that is just a good effect, because 30 damage is actually a lot for this game, because like I said, the base amount of HP is 60, and the base amount of attack is 30, so if you were to hit a normal fighter, a normal rank 1 with 30, they'll be left with 30 HP, and then you combo with a Special Blast in combo. So one thing that's really cool about this game is that you usually want to have like comboing attacks. You don't need to, but it could help you just save resources if your attacks combo well into each other, which is I think is a really cool just mechanic that happened to stumble off of just by balancing the game really well and making base stats. So yeah. The next special card is Zip Zap Dodge, which is actually a funny art because it's a continuation of Special Blast's art where Zap Dash is getting chased down, but this art he gets away just in nick of time with his thunder speed. It's called Zigzag Dodge, and stop an attack that would hit a Thunder type, then move that Thunder type if you want, so you don't have to afterwards. Which could just be just a really cool way to get advantage and get some more ground on your opponent. And yeah, this is a good card generally. It just gives Thunder like some defensive play because they don't have a whole lot. So them just having this is just something for them. Yeah, because they're just more of an aggressive deck, so they don't have a whole lot of defensive play. So they just having this just helps them just a little bit. Then next up, the next card they have is Dash and Slash, which is a Dash archetype card. Um, which do 40 damage if you have a dash fighter on your field, and if you have a rank 2 dash fighter turbo dash card on your field, draw 2 cards. So 40 damage is a lot more damage than 30 damage. Oh, not a whole lot, it's 10 more. But you can tell like there's kind of a difference where you do need a specific card, so you get like a little bit boost. So you can do a slight bit more damage, which is really nice. And also can like number combo it with other stuff in like specific number. But anyway, and also the draw 2 is really nice most of the time. That just draw 2, oh man, it can do a lot for you. But yeah, it's okay. It's an okay card. Its only problem is that it can be a brick if all your dash cards happen to die, or all your just rank 1 dash cards die. It can be really annoying and just break your deck and break your hand because you can't do anything with it if you don't have a dash card. It'll just whiff. So yeah, but it's okay. Another dash archetype card, Zap Sword. Give a fighter plus 20 attack. And if that fighter is a dash card, give it a extra plus 20 attack. Which is really nice, but it's way better than dash and slash because you don't need a dash card to use it. You just get extra benefit if you use a dash card. But yeah, plus 40 boost is really good. Like if you just give that to Zap Dash, he has 70 attack, which is redonkulous. So you can one shot a lot of rank 1s with that. So yeah, and also if you give it to Turbo Dash, you get 100 attacks. So yeah, it's a good card. It's a good finisher, a kind of extender type of card almost. It's just a good card. Then next up is another card I have just to keep the game in check called Beam of Hope, which is kind of like a comeback card. Oh my goodness, my phone's doing it again. Okay, there you go. Oh, please stop. Which is a comeback card. Do 70 damage to a rank 2 or higher, or do 70 damage if your enemy has more fighters than you. Which is just a really good card because let's say your opponent has a rank 2, you do 70 damage to it and get it down to half, because or actually a little bit lower than half. That's kind of like around like where like most rank 2s are at. 70 damage takes them down to half. So yeah. And then also, if your enemy's in the lead, you just get to do 70 damage with one of their cards, which if it's not rank 2, it usually one-shots them. So it is this good card removal, basically. It's basically card removal, how much damage it does. But yeah, it's just there just to balance the game out when like you're in a losing position. And also I do love the art. The art is really cool. You guys can see that. I really love this card's art. It's just so cool. I love like the effects I did with this. Is just such a cool art. I really love it. If the camera would focus on that, I would love it a lot more. But yeah. Okay. And then the next card is Zappin' Town. And Zappin' Town is a arena card, and if you have at least 2 different types on your field, once during your turn, you may draw 2 cards. So if you have 2 different types of cards on your field, you can draw 2 cards, which is a nice draw 2 every now and then. What you do, because you do have a couple of normal types in the Thunder deck, so yeah, it isn't too hard to get, but it can just do nothing if you don't get it. So it is kind of a specific card, but usually you do, because you have like 2 normal types in your deck and the rest are Thunder types, so like you will be able to use that at some point in the match, I'm pretty sure. So it's not a horrible card. It is really good, just gives you that extra draw power, but it doesn't always help you. Sometimes you just don't need it, so it just really depends, but it is a good card. Okay, now on to the new stuff. So this is the Water deck now, and we have seen this card actually, because I did show some of the Water cards in the first showcase. If you have seen it, and this is Jet. He's a Water type. He has 60 and 30 HP, so it's really basic. He has a bonus against fire. Most Water types do. And he has this really cool effect that's kind of really fun. Bubble Barrage. Do 10 damage for every set card on the field. So he's just kind of like a more like he's basically Zap Dash without a limit basically, because he has no damage limit, so he can be hit really good and really bad at certain times. And yeah, he's actually kind of just, now that I like really think about it, he's just a better version of Zap Dash, except for that he doesn't have any of the dash support cards. So I guess actually no, I guess he's not, because the dash support cards do make Zap Dash a lot better. So yeah, I don't know, it depends how you look at it. But he is just a really good card for some effect damage, because effect damage is, especially like fighter card effect damage, is really hard to stop in this game, because there is no way for you to stop a fighter card's effect in this game yet, or fighter card effect negation yet in this game. So any type of fighter card effect damage is really good. You can stop a fighter card's attack, but you can't stop their effect damage. So yeah, this is just a really good effect. You can do a lot of damage also, because it counts every set card, so it could be your field and your opponent's field. So that's a lot of like just damage. That's a lot of like fighter card effect damage. Then we have Ko. I really like Ko. He has 80 HP and 10 attack without any bonus, and his effect is Dome. Search your deck for a special card that has stop and attack in its text. Search means add a, well, like, hopefully you guys know what search means, but search means add a card from your hand, then shuffle your deck. It means add a card from your deck and then to your hand, and then shuffle your deck afterwards. That's what search means, if you didn't know, but hopefully you guys did. But yeah, Dome just allows Ko to search you for a block, and also just kind of give you a +1 in card advantage, basically. So yeah, it's just really nice. It also gets you another set card on field also for like Jet's effect, so it's just good. Just gets you more and just raises your consistency also. Then there's Shaba. Shaba is actually not from Charge Cards originally, not in from this universe actually. It's actually from a different yeah, world or universe that I've been working on a different card game actually. At first, it wasn't actually a card game, but then I turned it into one called Basamon. Completely different project, and one of the first. And he's actually the reason why I always put him in all my games. Shaba's actually the first original character that I've ever made in my whole entire life, because I actually still have the original version of Shaba in my gallery actually. I think in my phone gallery, and also I have like the actual like copy of like the actual drawing in my closet. So yeah, he's like the first original character I've ever made. So I've just kept him. But like his design has evolved, but he is still just a simple design. If you didn't know, he's actually a hamster. He's actually based off a hamster, and yeah, actually based off a hamster. And like the bubble is like the hamster dome, like when like they put hamsters in balls, and yeah, that's like the whole reference, which is actually pretty clever from like for me as a kid. Like I made this like I had to be like 5 or 4 actually. Yeah. Anyway, back to the actual card game. He has 80 HP and 20 attack. He's a rank 1, and he actually has a bonus against fire and earth, but it's only a 10 bonus. And his effect is Kind Bubble. Pick a water type on field. That water type takes 20 less damage on your enemy's next turn. Which is really nice, gives you some protection and lets you protect like your important pieces like Jet, or it allows you to protect Shaba if he's getting low, if he's all by himself also. So yeah, this is generally just a good card. And then now on to their boss. As you see, Wardens have a lot of fighter cards. They're mostly just special cards. Aqua Storm Jet, which is a more powerful power-up version of Jet. The stats do not match, but it's alright. He is way more bulkier than Turbo Dash. He has 140 HP, so he can take a lot more hits. But his attack is lower. He has only 40 attack and not 60. And his effect is a really fun effect called Whirlpool Reverse. Which makes sense in lore. Discard all set cards on field, then do 20 damage for every set card you discard. So you just whack the whole field. You don't eat, but the only bad part about this effect is that you can't control how many you discard. You have to discard every single field, including your stuff and your opponent's stuff. So there's like, yes, you can do bunch of damage, but it's not like you can like use it right because you can't like save any of it unless you save it in your hand. So you can burst a lot of damage, but you waste damage also because usually you waste it on usually do a little bit too much damage of what you actually need to do, so you waste it. But anyway, it works thematically. Because in lore, when he goes into Aqua Storm Jet, he has like this whirlpool around him, as you can see, where if a range attack tries to hit him, like a fireball maybe, it'll like go around the whirlpool and then swing back with like water around it, also boosting it, and basically double the power of their attack, and then just swing it right back at them, which is really cool. So that's how I did it in lore, or I did it in the game. Transfer the lore into the game, Whirlpool Reverse, and yeah, he's like generally such a fun card to play with because like, man, and actually I had to nerf him. He used to do 30 damage, now he does 20. Yeah, he's actually really good. He used to do 30. So he's just a really good fighter card right now. He's probably the best out of the two rank twos because he just does way more and has no damage limit or no damage cap. He has bubble block. What the next card in water in the first special card in water is bubble block. Stop an attack that would hit a water type. That water type takes 30 less damage for the rest of this turn, which can be a really cool combo with Shabba, because now you're taking 50 less damage if you pick the same card, which basically shuts your opponent down from all attacks, because like there's no way you're doing any damage at 50, and even if you are, it's like doing 10 or 20. So like, yeah, it's a really good card. You just stop your opponent from basically doing any damage for that turn. Then there's Dead Calm Water, which stops the attack, and if you have a water type rank 2 or higher, all fighters may not attack for the rest of this turn. So Dead Calm Water is really cool, but as you could imagine, because the only rank 2 water type in the game right now destroy set cards, you usually never get to use this because you need a rank 2. Or you can use it, but you usually don't get to use the secondary effect of it. Because you can just use it without the secondary effect. Because and you don't actually need to do it. But you usually don't get to use the secondary effect because Alstorm Jet usually discards the first turn he gets played. So if you set this down, you discard it anyway because you, like I said, you can't control what you discard and what you don't discard. You just discard everything, all your set cards, all the set cards on the field. So it's a cool card, but also it's actually inspired by Demon Slayer. If you guys ever watched Demon Slayer, it's a really cool anime. I love it. You should watch it. I don't care. You just watch it. Just watch it. But the Water Hashira has this art called Dead Come Water, which is was inspired by. But like, it's not literally that. But I just really thought his technique that he made was really cool. The 10th form for 11th form of water breathing. Yeah, it's just really cool. So I just made a card based off of it. But like, it's not literally it. But I do just like the idea of Dead Come Water also. But yeah, that's this card. It usually doesn't get used a lot for the most part. At least it doesn't get used as secondary effect a lot anyway, which is really funny. Next up is a generic blocking card. Called Shield of Hope. Stop a attack, and if your enemy has more fighters than you, you can't attack for the rest of this turn. Can't attack for the rest of this turn. For the rest of this turn, and draw two cards. So it sounds like a bad thing, but actually a good thing because now your enemy can't attack for the rest of this turn, right? Just can't attack, period, for the rest of this turn. But if you use this on your enemy turn, which you will because your enemy can only attack on their turn, then you stop their attacks for the rest of this turn and you get a draw too. And then when it goes back to you, the effect's over because it's only for that turn. So it's a really cool effect, just shutting down your whole opponent's game, but also it's an effect, so you could just use it without the secondary effect if you don't meet the requirements. But yeah, this is also it's another combat comeback card because I just like comeback cards in my game, and I just like the hopes. The hopes are really cool. The hope cards are really cool. I just think they're just really cool thematically. They usually have come out really cool. Like this shield is like so cool. I have like so many people that see this card and like, yo, this is really cool, Jaden. And like I didn't even try that hard making it. But yeah, it's just a really cool card. And that draw too, it's really nice when you get it off and it just feels so clean when your opponent like that smirk on your opponent's face just gets wiped as soon as they see this card and like dang, I wait another turn before I can wipe you out. And the next card is Rippling Water, which, if you read it at first, sounds like a bad card, but it is a really good card. But it's actually a really wordy card, so just stick with me as I read this. When a water type attacks a fighter, but it doesn't kill, you may attack with that water type again, but it can't attack the same card. This effect can be used multiple times the turn it's used. So after this card activates or resolves, you can use this effect again and again during the turn that you activated it. So if you attack with a water type and it doesn't kill, right, and the opponent's at 30 HP, you activate this and then you can attack another card, but it can't be the same one. And then if you don't kill, then you can do it again. So it's really good against if your opponent has a really big field and you hit all of them in range. But usually doesn't always line up that well, and also because the war deck isn't that aggressive, at least right now, they don't have a lot of good aggressive like cards. Like even their boss only has 40 HP. I mean 40 attack, not 40 HP. They have 140 HP, but 40 attack. So it's just not a good card right now. But also it's good that but it's also good they don't have a lot of attack because you can't kill to get it off. But they're just not aggressive enough to really use it yet. But I think once I add like some other war types to the game, they probably will be. But like at least right now, they're just not aggressive enough to really use this to its full potential. But it's a really good card. Then next card is Quick Blast, which is the first generic or no, this is the first special card cancellation or a special negate card in the game. Quick Blast stops a special card, and then you do 10 damage, which is just really nice. It's 10 extra damage. We could get a kill, something that 10 HP could, but it has a penalty effect, and penalty effects always happen, and they're forced to happen if they're if or trigger effect. They always happen. And if they're not, and they're like an optional effect, or just not optional, and they just always happen. Penalty. If your enemy reacts to this card, erase this card's effect. And if you don't know what erase means, it just means negate. But I just say erase in this game because I feel like erase is a more simpler a word erase. And also it just sounds cool. Also a little bit in my head, it sounds a little cool. But it makes sense thematically. Because if you're a quick blast, you shouldn't be able to get reacted to. So if your opponent does react to it, it no longer becomes a quick blast. So it negates itself because it's not quick anymore because you're able to react to it. So it just makes sense. Also, I just think it's really funny thematically. Oh, if your opponent's able to react to it, it's not quick anymore. Therefore, it's not a quick blast. So you don't get just boom, stop their effect and do 10 damage. Now you just don't do it at all. It just whiffs itself, which I think is really cool. It also allows it have inner counterplay to it, so then it keeps the game dynamic and reactional play and dynamic. So even a card that doesn't want to do anything at all at the time does do something just by playing it. But yeah, it is really easy to counter, so it's not amazing, but it's not horrible either because If you're smart, you'll just play it when you know they can't react to anything. Or you just pray and hope that the card that they would use, they just can't use or they don't want to use. Also, that's another way. You could just pray. And then Water's Arena card, which is a really good one. Bubble Bay. Oh wow, the shitting on this card is really extreme for no reason. I don't know why it did it like that, but it's alright. The effect is effects do 0 damage to your water types. What that means is that water types just don't take any effect damage. So like anything like Zap Dash's effect that does 10 damage to like Jet's effect that does 10 damage, anything like that just doesn't do any damage to water types, which is really cool. And also explains passive effects also if you want to read that, but I'm not gonna read that out right now. Yeah, that was the showcase. Yeah, that was the water deck and the center deck. As a recap, because of the audio in the last video. And yeah, that's just my card game. I think I might do a playtest next video. Maybe, if this video does well. I'm not gonna put like a like goal or a view goal, but just if I see it do good enough for myself and my preference, then I will make a battle video between these two decks, because these decks are very interesting. Even though Thunder does have a bonus against them, Water just has like basically has a bonus against them, just not actually, because they just work really well against them. Their whole deck just works really well against them. So it's still an interesting battle though, because it's still close. Because Thunder has bonuses against them, but they just their game plan works really well against Thunder's game plan. So yeah, it's a really interesting matchup. But yeah, Aquos out.